Because no rapper can rap quite like I can. I'll take a muscle-bound man and put his face in the sand. How about that?
Wow.
Wait.
Put your mind to it, put your grind to it.
There you go. I'm going to be on the Dawn Vicker show today. I'm super pumped. So excited. Let's see Dawn. Dawn, what's up? How are you?
I'm so excited. Here we go. Today is National Kindness Day, and I am so excited to have Jeff Lagoni here with me today because he is sweeter than pie. He's with Victorian Finance, and wanted to just ask you just a little bit about yourself, how you got into the industry, and a little bit about Victorian Finance.
That's a great question. So I love National Kindness Day. I was listening to Caleb on the way up here, and man, that's the key to everything, right? Just loving on people. And that's really what we want to do every day. And just to show you a little love, I brought you a t-shirt today.
Oh, love it. Look at that. It's so soft.
Nice and comfy for you.
Look at that. He's bearing gifts. We like him already.
Yeah. So to me, you have to be training every day, right? So have you ever read The Miracle Morning?
No.
So it's a great book. So The Miracle Morning is when you win the morning, you win the day. So for me, my perfect day is waking up at 5 a.m. First thing I do is get a cup of coffee, feed the furry kids. So we have a dog, a German Shepherd, a cat, and a bunny.
Oh, nice.
And then I like to read, one day of the Bible. It's taken me about 5 years to read the one-year Bible. And then I read one motivational book.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock, I want to work out. So I got to get the sweat going.
Yeah.
That's when the creative juices happen. And then at 7 o'clock, the kids wake up. And we have breakfast as a family. And then come 8:50, we have a team meeting with the team for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And for me, I'm putting a warrior paint on, and I'm going to crush the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah!
My grind.
You were getting it. I'm like, where's she going?
You guys do that together?
I'm ready to start beatboxing today, yeah.
Yeah.
What all did you say, Mike?
Okay, so Jeff, tell me a little bit about the Jeff Lagoni team that works out of Victorian Finance.
Sure. So the way, they say, what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention. And so at that point, I said, man, I got to build a team. Mm-hmm. And
It's a good place to be.
Well, it was a great place to
Yeah.
be, but the hard part is the life balance, right? So I wasn't spending time with my wife. I wasn't spending time with my kids. And, all work and no play just really isn't healthy. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I said, I have to build a team. Mm-hmm. So I started building a team, and I failed miserably, right? I didn't put a plan in place. I just hired people and said, hey, just sit in front of me and we'll figure out what you're going to do from there. Mm-hmm. But it got to a point where I whiteboarded everything that I did, and then we divided it, and we hired talented people that could do those things, that could take those things off my plate. And right now, at first when we implemented the team, I had agents calling me going, you've been phenomenal for so long. What
That
happened?
would be one of me?
You were one of them.
Yep.
And said, what happened?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I'm trying to build a team. Just bear with me. I will fix it. I'll get it
Yeah.
right.
Well, they say without failure, you cannot really experience success.
That's right.
Because you have to know what works and what doesn't work, and not everything works.
That's right.
Obviously.
And so that was in June of 2016. We had like 23 loans on the books. We missed every commitment date, and we missed every closing date. And so,
That's a little
fortunately,
painful,
it was
yeah.
so painful. But it was growth, right? So we were failing forward. And we were failing through it, and we were growing through it. And it just made us a stronger team for it. And I can tell you, since October of 2016, which is a few months after that, we've been crushing it. So now, every time we give the clear to close call, we say, hey, how was your experience? Because that's really what it's all about, is the customer's experience. Because we want them coming back to you going, hey, Dawn, thanks for referring them. They were amazing. I can tell you that agents like yourself that worked with me when I was solo versus with the team now are saying, hey, Jeff, hate to hurt your feelings, but your team's way better than you ever were solo. So I'm so thankful for my team.
But I always just like to hear your voice on the phone.
And I appreciate that, because we can talk forever.
Yeah, I know.
And brainstorm
I
and
know.
grow and that kind of thing. So the team's doing an amazing job. How this came about was, I told you, we've been doing a fantastic job from October of 2016 through. Every customer's like, you guys were amazing. It was an easy process. I heard horror stories about how tough it would be. And man, you guys made this so simple for us. But in December of last year, my nephew's loan closed. And I called, his fiance, and I said, hey, wasn't that amazing? Like, you guys were cleared to close before you even went shopping for a house. You were cleared to close 2 weeks before you even bought the house. Wasn't that pretty cool? And she said, Jeff, you could have held his hand a little tighter. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, he likes to know every step that's going to happen throughout the loan process. So I wish you would have had something for him so he knew what was going to happen next. And that's how this was born.
You put this together yourself?
Yeah. So our marketing team at Victorian put this together.
Very nice. Yep. And it's basically like a Monopoly board. And it's the steps you take through the mortgage process. So give us 5 things that we should not do if we're going to go get a mortgage.
Number 1, don't quit your job.
Stay a-working.
Don't quit your job.
Okay.
Don't become self-employed.
Okay.
And then on your bank statements, make sure you understand every deposit that you have going into your bank statement. So in the beginning of the loan process, we're going to tell you, hey, we're going to review your bank statements, and we need you to verify any deposits that you have going into your bank statements. 100% of the time, everyone says, well, you know what, I don't have any deposits. But then when we get the bank statements, we see deposits, and we go, well, what's this $2,000 deposit? And I go, oh, my cousin paid me back for the vacation that I fronted.
Okay.
Or, hey, I got a refund check. So we just need to be able to verify the deposits. And that's the part of the loan process where people really want to pull their hair out. So we walk them through step by step on the deposits. Don't change your bank account. So don't switch banks, who you're doing your checking and savings with.
Okay.
The other thing is don't miss any payments. Right? So we pull your credit in the beginning to qualify you, but a couple days before closing, we have to re-verify your credit to make sure that you're not late on anything during the loan process.
Okay.
So,
and you also have a really cool thing in place, at least you used to, where it would notify you if ding, 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 lights go off if, you're delinquent 30 days on anything.
Yeah.
Do you still have that?
Yeah, so right now we have a constant monitoring tool that we use so that instead of us getting hit 2 days prior to closing with something that popped up, we'll get an alert immediately. And then we can notify the customer and notify you, the agent, that says, hey, this just happened on the credit report. We need to address it. And the other thing that's really important about talking to us early is that the Massachusetts Interest Public Group did a study, and almost 80% of credit reports have inaccuracies on them. So oftentimes when we pull a credit report, when somebody's first applying for a loan, we walk them through their credit report to say, is this accurate? And oftentimes it's not.
Okay.
So we have to do the work to get their credit corrected.
Okay. That's good to know. That's very valuable. Okay. I know you're a problem solver, right? So what's the one problem you solve better than anybody else?
So the one thing we do better than anybody else is we don't say no, right? So our answer is never no. We're always going to put a plan in place, right? So you may come to us initially and not qualify for the loan. We're not going to say no, see you later. We're going to say, okay, let's review this and let's put a game plan together to make sure that you can buy a house. And I can promise you this, sometimes it takes us 3 days, sometimes it takes us 3 months, sometimes it takes us 3 years, but the people that listen to us get there. And everyone on my team gets that. No matter, sometimes you call a lender and say, hey, sorry about your luck, you don't qualify. We're never gonna say that. Because all of our hearts, everyone on my team, we want you into a home, and we care. And so we're gonna give you that game plan, and then we're gonna follow up with you. We're going to hold you accountable to make sure you're taking the steps that you need to take.
Excellent. So we are getting ready to wrap up our session with Jeff Lagoni from Victorian Finance, and I want to thank him so much for his time and energy and just his approach to life and business. And also, Jeff, thank you. And it's a wrap. Anyway, thanks so much again, Jeff, for joining me today. We learned a lot about just what you can do and what you shouldn't do during the process. And let me say this from the bottom of my heart, I truly love this guy. And also, he makes it not scary. You can get a mortgage. Anybody, really. If you want to do it, put your mind to it, put your grind to it, he can make it happen. Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
It was a lot of fun.
How's it go? How's the rap song go?
Do you know it, Jeff?
No, I'm asking him.
No
So
rap
I
can rap quite like I can. I'll take a muscle bound man and put his face in the sand.
Oh.
All right. All right, so